Thanks for listening today. My name is Derek Jacoby. Today I want to talk to you about DIYVictoria, the People's Workshop. We've been tossing around a lot of names for this, sort of as Mad Science Labs, which tended to have some problems with another company, or with a company operating in the area. We called it the Victoria Hackerspace for a while, but everybody thought we were just talking about computers. And really, there's so much more to this suggestion than just computers. And so hackerspace, in some cases, doesn't quite cut it. But in fact, our vision is really drawn from hackerspaces. Hackerspace.org defines a hackerspace as an open community lab, machine shop, workshop where people of diverse backgrounds can come together to share resources and make things. And it's that make things that's the really important part of the vision. It can act as a business incubator, but that's really a secondary goal. The primary goal is to foster collaboration, the sharing of resources, and learning about the technologies that pervade our lives. We're no longer at the mercy of consumer marketing if we have the personal capacity to shape the technologies we use. It's a model that's rapidly growing. There are dozens of hackerspaces throughout the world. Canada has only a few right now, but those few are generally successful and proof that the model works here. Let's look at a few of the more successful hackerspaces. NYC Resistor is one of the earliest in New York City hackerspaces. There are several hackerspaces in New York now. NYC Resistor grew out of the Chaos Computer Club, but has grown significantly beyond just computers in focus. For instance, in March, they had a talk by Rob Carlson, a biotechnology entrepreneur, about how to move biology into private and community labs. This is something that I have a strong personal interest in doing here, but I'll get into that later. New York City Resistor gets most of their funding through memberships, but they also have a strong speaker and class program and a small revenue stream from their online store. The Vancouver Hackspace is aggressively trying to fund itself through its store. The model hasn't fully panned out yet, but it's a promising one. I'll talk more about funding models later, but the more we can keep the barriers to access to the lab low, the more reach we'll have into the community, and the more successful we can be. Vancouver Hackspace looks like they're trying to make some efforts in this direction. We ought to go have a group visit there at some point. They're close. The Menlo Park Tech Shop is a model that I would like us not to follow. It's successful in that it does put technology in the hands of people who want to create things with it. But it's a for-profit business model, and they get all of their revenue through membership fees, which scale from $125 a month for individuals up to $1,200 a month for companies. This allows them to fill large buildings with the latest and amazing equipment, and it's been a successful business model that's being franchised elsewhere. But this comes at the cost of open, affordable access, and it's not at all the business model that I'm proposing for DIYVictoria. Our goals are really open and affordable access, meaning that everybody in the community gets some benefit. Monthly memberships for people using the facilities, but reasonable drop-in fees and per-class charges for more casual participants. We want to get a really diverse interest or set of interests and projects, supporting as wide a community through that as we can, with technology as the common focus of the projects, but varying through woodworking and metalcraft and home manufacturing to various computer-related topics. Building a flexible pool of resources who can take advantage of those technologies areas. As people propose and work on projects, the tools that are available should be flexible to support those projects. We can't get a building big enough to simultaneously support all the interests of all the members, so we'll need to prioritize. And then finally, classes and networking. I love sharing the ability to shape technology to solve problems. It's really empowering. But beyond that, I want to find networks of people with skill sets complementary to my own, or even people with problems that require solutions. Both for the fun of creating and because the more smart people you get working on useful things, the more likely it is to turn into some interesting outcome. So what's next? I think the next public event that I'm aware of is an Ignite event that I'm planning for late April or early May. This is a format that has been increasingly popular around the world and consists of 5-minute talks by a number of speakers. Go and Google Ignite talks and listen to some. Each speaker gets 5 minutes and has to provide 20 slides, which are advanced at 15-second intervals. Then they hand the microphone on to the next speaker. It can be a story, a message, a biography, or whatever else strikes your passion. My co-organizer was planning it as a benefit for junior achievement, and we could use the reach to get more members to get the workshop off the ground. We also need to get the legal structures in place, find a space, figure out insurance, and figure out initial startup money. That's going to take a lot of work. So stay in touch on DIYVictoria.ca and keep talking on the Google group. Let's get projects going, excitement building, and create the people's workshop. Thanks for listening. I hope to hear from you soon.